during my time in the mining camps of the California Gold Rush, I encountered Simon Wheeler, a good-natured, talkative type who was said to have information about one Leonidas W. Smiley. I had been asked by a friend back east to learn what I could about this Leonidas W. Smiley, who was supposedly a long-lost childhood acquaintance of my friend. But after the reminiscence my inquiry produced, I was induced to ponder if my alleged friend was in fact a friend. Do I have the pleasure of addressing Simon Wheeler?
That you do, stranger.
I was told you might have some information about one Leonidas W. Smiley.
That I do. That I most certainly do. Who?
Leonidas W. Smiley.
Oh, Leonidas W. Smiley. No, never heard of him. But there was this fellow here once by the name of Jim Smiley. Have a seat.
Oh, I really don't want to.
I insist. Yeah, this fellow, Jim Smiley. He was here in the winter of 49, or maybe the spring of 50. I don't recollect exactly, though something makes me think it was one or the other. Anyway, he was the curiousest man you ever see about, always betting on anything that turned up. If he could get anybody to bet on the other side, he'd bet. And if he couldn't, he'd change sides. Anything suited him, just so long as he could get a bet. But still, he was lucky, uncommon lucky. He most always come out a winner. If there was a horse race, he'd bet on it. If there was a dog fight, he'd bet on it. Why, if there was two birds sitting on a fence, he'd bet you on which one to fly away first. He'd bet you on anything. The dangerous feller. Parson Walker's wife laid very sick once for a good while, and it seemed as if they weren't going to save her. And one morning, he come in, and Smiley asked the parson how she was, and he said she was considerable better. Thank the Lord for his infinite mercy. And coming on so well that with the blessings of Providence, she'd get well yet. And Smiley, before he thought, he says, well, I'll rest. $2 she don't anyway. Anyway, this year Smiley catched a frog one day, took him home, named him Daniel, and said he'd calculate to educate him. And you bet he never done nothing for 3 months but sat in his backyard and learned that frog to jump. And you bet he did learn him too. He'd give him a little punch behind, and the next minute you'd see that frog whirling in the air like a donut, and then come down flat-footed and all right, like a cat. And when it come to fair and square jumping on dead level, that Daniel could get over more ground at one jump than any animal of his breed you ever seen. Smiley would eat up money on him just so long as he had a red cent. Smiley was monstrous proud of that frog, as well he might be. Well, Smiley kept the beast in a little box and used to fetch him downtown sometimes and lay for a bet. One day, a feller, a stranger in the camp he was, come across Smiley with his box and says,
what might it be you've got in the box?
It might be a parrot, or it might be a canary. Maybe, but it ain't. Only just a frog.
So the feller took the box and looked at it careful and turned it around this way and that and says,
So it is. Well, what's it good for?
Well, he's good enough for one thing I should judge. He can outjump any frog in Calaveras County.
Oop, I don't see no points about this frog that's any better than any other frog.
Maybe you don't. Maybe you've had experience. Maybe you ain't only an amateur, as it were. Anyways, I've got my opinion. I'll risk $40. He can outjump any frog in Calaveras County.
$40.
$40.
$40.
$40.
Well, I'm only a stranger here and I ain't got no frog, but if I had a frog, I'll bet you.
That's all right. That's all right. If you'll hold my box a minute, I'll go and get you a frog. And here's my $40.
and the feller took the box and put up his $40 along with Smiley's and sat down to wait. And he sat there for a good while, thinking and thinking to himself, until finally he took the frog out the box. And then he pried open the frog's mouth, took a teaspoon, filled him full of quail shot, filled him pretty up near to his chin, and set him on the ground. Meanwhile, Smiley, he went to the swamp and slopped around in the mud for a long time, until finally he catched a frog and fetched him in, and give him back to this feller, and says,
Now, if you'll set yours just alongside Daniel. With his forepaws just with Daniel, I'll give the word. 1, 2, 3, get!
And they both touched their frogs, and the new frog hopped off lively. But Daniel give a heave and hoisted up his shoulders like this, like a Frenchman. But it weren't no use. He couldn't budge.
Woohoo!
He was planted as solid as a church, and he couldn't no more stir than if he was anchored out. Smiley didn't have no idea what the matter was, of course, and so the feller took the money and started away. But he stopped and looked at Daniel and said again, very deliberate,
I don't see no points about that frog that's any better than any other frog.
Smiley, he stood scratching his head and looking down at Daniel a long time, till at last he says,
I do wonder what in the nation happened to that frog. I wonder if there ain't something the matter with him. Pierce looked mighty baggy.
and he catch Daniel by the nape of the neck, and he hefted him, and says,
Why, bleed my calf, you don't weigh 5 pounds. Quail shot! What tarnation? Hey, you no good polecat!
and when he seen how it was, he was the maddest man in Angel Camp. And he started off after that feller, but never catched him. That's the most what I know about Jim Smiley.
Much obliged. If you learn anything about a Leonidas W. Smiley, I'd be eager to hear that too. I encountered many men like Simon Wheeler in the California gold fields. Interesting people.